Yeah, so before we get into the top 10, I just want to do the one that I would have definitely had on my list, and that is my honorable mention, She Had to Run.
She was shaking when she got in that car. She said, I don't care where you go, just don't stop till I can't see this place anymore. And as hard as she tried, she still broke down and cried harder than she'd ever cried before. She had to run, get out as fast as she could. She knew the next time he'd do what he always said he would.
This song is one of those where you could just hear like the emotion in it. It kind of reminded me of Jayton and Jill by Zane Williams, if you listened to that episode a few weeks ago, where it's just this story of a girl who's just going through this shit right now, and she's just having to escape a terrible relationship, and she's just trying to get as far away as she can.
Yeah, the line that always kills me with that one is where he says something like, next time he'd do the thing he always said he'd do, which would probably be like, kill her or something like that. It's just, it's got our favorite word, the haunting vibe.
Yeah.
And that one is truly tremendous. Like I said, making this list was impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a really great song.
Yeah. So let's get into the top 10.
Top 10. All right. Number 10, Confidently Wrong.
I had a big way, and there's a road I'm on, some path I'm taking to the great unknown. I'll end up dead or find my way home. But if I die, then right on my tombstone, he went confidently wrong.
This is off of the one with the wayfaring apostles. This song I like because I feel like it's slightly applicable to my life and the way I do things. Well, just in the chorus ends like this. But if I die, then write on my tombstone that he went confidently wrong. And so just the idea of go about things your way and be confident about it. And if you are wrong, then at least you win it about it your own way. And this song's got a great sound and a great vibe to it. But just that line makes me laugh, and I just think it's really great. So it's pretty fun.
That kind of reminds me of, if any of you have ever listened to the podcast, Improv for Humans. I actually hadn't listened to it in about 2 years before this episode came out, but Sarah Shook was on it this week, and it was a super funny episode, but she played her song, is it called Fuck Up? I can't remember, but it just has the lyric of God doesn't make mistakes, he just makes fuck-ups. So it's just an awesome lyric like that. But yeah, you should.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Improv for Humans. It's actually I stopped listening because the podcast started turning to them improvising about how evil Trump is and how great Hillary Clinton is, and so
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah, so I stopped listening. But this week's episode was really fucking funny.
Nice.
But yeah.
All right, number 9, Promises and Pieces. This is also off of one of them that's not on Spotify. I can't remember what the hell the name of those albums are, so
spread them
and
insert.
Exactly. This song is it's like a story song in a sense. It's also just like super sad. It's about the narrator is kind of like a degenerate. And so he takes a gun from his friend and then like leaves the place that they're at, and then later on he robs a convenience store, and then he like ditches the gun, and then finds out later that then his friends like coming to look for him, but then they find the gun that the narrator used to rob the store. The police find the gun, arrest his friend, and then hang him, and so he's got this guilt going on, and just kind of, the line about promises in pieces is just him talking about, making promises about kind of turning his life around or whatever, and so just the promises and pieces on the ground, shattering them. But it's just another one of those like story type songs that's really sad, and it's just kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a beautifully sad song. Yeah. Hold on, phone's being retarded. All right, number 8. OK Whiskey.
It's been a long day driving and I'm here in Oakland City. I've been drinking at this bar for an hour now. Feeling all filled up, that's the only thing I'm feeling. Then I remember where I am, I see the problem now. It's whiskey or nothing up in Oklahoma. The beer up here, it just won't do. Line 'em up, bartender, it don't have to be your finest. OK Whiskey treats me better than that old 3-2.
I love this song because, as we found out at Medicine Stone last year, in Oklahoma,
Dreamcatcher tattoo.
Exactly, the song is all about Dreamcatcher tattoos on the upper thigh. But it's about the fact that in Oklahoma they only sell beer at 3.2%, and so this song is about him coming up from Texas and being in Oklahoma, and
I forgot
he's at the
about
bar.
that.
And he has a bunch of beers, and then he's just like says like he's feeling all filled up, but he's like not drunk, and then he's just like, oh yeah, I forgot. You can't drink beer up here because it's not going to do the trick. So the OK Whiskey is just it's a play on words saying OK Whiskey, just like decent whiskey, because he says OK Whiskey will be fine, but also that you have to drink whiskey up here to get drunk because the beer's not going to do it. And so like the very end of the chorus is the OK Whiskey treats me better than the old 3.2, and so the 3.2% beer, and so. It's a nice little drinking song type thing. It's kind of funny.
I'd completely forgotten about the beer in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I guess that explains why I never got really that drunk while we were there. Because I got like good buzzes while we were there, but I never really got super drunk while we were at Medicine Stone last year.
Yeah.
And speaking of
the
which,
old 3.2.
Only 3 weeks till Medicine Stone. Oh, I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we'll do a preview episode this year again, but I did enjoy that episode last year, but we'll see.
Absolutely. I would be down. We can see where we're at that week.
Yeah.
All right, number 7. I Travel On, off of the latest album, I Travel On.
I'm out here searching for something I can hold. I don't know what is real, just some stories I've been told. Maybe someday I'll find out. Somewhere along this road I travel on. I travel on.
This
song
on that album because that's the same.
It's late edition.
Oh.
But so this one, each of the verses start off with him saying like either like I woke up in this place or I'm now in this place, and he's just kind of talking about all these different places that he's in and like what it's like, and then it always is talking about how he's got this thing that he's trying to ignore or try to like move on from or find, and so I think it's partially like I can't tell if it's like he's trying to get over someone or if it's he made the decision to leave but he doesn't know what he's searching for, because like at the end of the song he's got maybe someday I'll find out somewhere along this road, I travel on, and so I just really like the rambling nature. This is another one of the songs off the new album that just has a tremendous sound with the instruments and everything together, and so I just really dig it. And just another one of those rambling songs.
America.
How dare you?
America!
All right. So number 6, Drive.
So I drive where you can't find me, where those old winds don't call out your name, where I don't see your face in the cold light dawn. I'll go steady down this
is off of his
This is
self-titled.
an Alan Jackson song, you fucking moron.
And I love that song. This one, it's similar to I Travel On because he talks about, he's driving, so he says, so I'll drive where you can't find me, where those old winds don't call out your
Real
name.
original, Edie.
Where I don't see your face in the cold light of dawn, I roll steady down this road I'm on. So, he's trying to, the
Sound
common
cool.
theme in country songs. Trying to outrun a memory kind of deal. Drive until you feel free again. And
As long as he doesn't write a song about how loving someone is like a drug.
how dare you? Yeah, but I like it a lot, and I keep saying the sound and whatnot. But this is one off of that album that I kind of feel like had the best kind of country vibe jam to it. I really, really dig it. Number 5, Longer Walk in the Rain.
And I think about you then, while I stumble home again, and I'll have time to remember who's to blame, 'cause it's a longer walk in the rain. It's a longer walk in the rain. Will the porch light be left on?
I really like this one because of the way that it's written. He talks about, like, he is coming home from, like, the bar, or it's not really clear if he's coming home from a bar or, like, from some place where he's, like, cheating on his lady. But he talks about how he, like, walks outside, and then he can tell that a storm's coming, and he's like, well, I should probably turn back and go inside and wait out the storm. But I know enough about myself that I'll probably just stand here and wait for it to start raining, and then I'll walk home. And so it's kind of this, he's punishing himself, because, like, the line's about it's a longer walk in the rain for him stumbling his way back home. So he's kind of punishing himself. He's got the line in there where, and I'll think about you then when I stumble home again, and I'll have time to remember who's to blame. Kind of, he'll remember why he's in this situation in the first place. But the part of it that's kind of confusing to me, whether or not he's, like, cheating on someone, or they're leaving, or something's going on, because he's got the line where he says, will the porch light be on, or will she just be gone? And so I'm not totally sure which direction it's going.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the imagery of just, it's a longer walk in the rain, and he's just letting the rain fall on him, and he's walking the long way home, just kind of punishing himself.
It reminds me, he has a lot of, like, cheating songs, because he also reminds me of the song,
Yes.
It's called Where I've Been, where it's like, I'll be home in the morning, just don't ask me where I've been. And, like, I love...
He does have a lot of songs that are broken relationship type cheating songs, but they're not as, like, perfectly written out to be like, and I'm cheating on her.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of always got this little bit of mystery to it, and I think it's just a testament to the way that he writes songs.
Yeah.
And I think it's just tremendous. And then continuing the cheating songs type vibe, the next one, number 4, Other Side of Abilene.
And in the morning, when you wake up alone, you may wonder if I'll ever get back home, back home. Well, I'll get back home, all in good time. But in the meantime, it's a long ride to the other side of Abilene.
This one, he's talking about this long drive from where he's at some place on one side of Abilene, then he's driving his ass all the way back home. And so the chorus is him saying, it's a long ride to the other side of Abilene. But in the verses, you can tell that he's probably cheating on someone or something, because he says, when I crawled out of this cold motel bed, I know I've got to turn back to see what lies ahead.
Why
And
you
so
be cheating, Jason?
Well, and so it's just kind of got this interesting vibe. And he's just got this long ride back home to kind of think about what he's done. And so he's got a lot of songs like that where he's kind of like admitting fault in some capacity and then putting himself in a position to reflect on it. And I think it's really interesting just as a narrative structure. And this song also, it's one of those that whenever it comes on, I always listen to it because even though it's a really simplistic guitar line, when the guitar line starts off right at the beginning, I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. So I love it.
America.
All right. Number 3, Barabbas.
Well, the guilt hangs twice as heavy when it's followed by surprise. I'd surrendered, I was ready to give up and do my time. I did not know his name, did not know why he was there, but on this side of forgiveness, we both have our cross to bear. I've got a second chance, I'm gonna make it count. Make my way out west, maybe head down south. Live the life of a pardoned man, believing in things I don't understand.
This Barabbas. This song is great. It's interesting because it's about this. The narrator is arrested for a crime, but they apparently arrested him and another guy, and then the jury finds the other guy guilty instead of him, and he's caught off guard by it. He doesn't really know why, but then he gets to go free, and so then the whole song is about how he's just I don't really deserve this second chance, but I'm going to make the best of it now that I'm in this position. I'm going to, kind of try to atone for what I've done in the past, and I don't deserve to have this freedom, but now that I have it, I'm going to use it to do some good, and it's just a real nice song.
Yeah, I think this was my favorite off of his self-titled album.
Yes, this also is my favorite off of the self-titled. Yeah. All right, number 2, Temptation.
Lie where the crown is standing behind, the devil's gonna take it all. I look down how high we've climbed. The angels catch us before we fall. Angels catch us before we fall. We won't let ourselves be led. We'll never turn these stones to bread.
He's got a lot of songs kind of like this where it's got strong religious vibes going on. And so this one is just, I don't totally know if there's a message outside of just the idea of temptation and then religion and just kind of, being a good person and ignoring the bad things, because all the lines are very, very religious sounding. Then the chorus says, "We won't let ourselves be led. We'll never turn these stones into bread." And I don't know what the hell that really means. When he's just we walk away, the tempter's call, hold on tight, my soul to keep. And so it's just got a very religious sounding song, but it just sounds so good, and it's almost like he's preaching to you, and I really dig it.
Liar.
Oh, damn it, he caught me. Which brings us to number 1, my number 1, and has been my number 1 since the start, because it was also the first song I heard by him, Daylight and Dark.
And there ain't no conversation between the daylight and the dark. It's a worn-out situation when you don't know where you are, and you can't quite find the middle, but you're somewhere in between. And the hardest part of all is that you don't know what that means.
I really like this song because obviously the themes of the light and the dark, and the good and the evil and all that good shit. But then also where it's this story of this guy who's, coming off of
racism,
coming off of a racism, He's coming off of like a broken relationship kind of deal, and so when he talks about, he wakes up and then he tries to leave without making any noise so that the stranger beside him in bed doesn't know, and then he goes outside and he's just kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and then the lines in the chorus where he talks about how the difference between the day, the day and the dark, and then saying that you're somewhere in between. I don't know exactly what he's going at in terms of if there's, he has to change his life to get into this spot to be good enough for said person, or if it's like he lost the person and he's trying to find his way back and he doesn't know what he's doing. But I just really like the way that it's written. It's really interesting, and this is the song that got me hooked on him. And so, yeah, it's been my favorite from the start.
Yeah, I'm really trying to think of how we got, or how did you get into Jason Eady? Was it Discover?
I don't know if it was a Discover
or did like Saving Country Music post about him or something.
No, it was either a Discover Weekly or it was I had been listening to somebody and I was going through the related artists. Because I remember around the time that I got into him was when I had, found out about like Cody Jinks, and I was just like, there's this whole world of music that's amazing. And so I would just listen to music and then I would just click on the related artists and just go through them. And so it was probably, a related artist to a related artist or something like that. Or it was a Discover song. I can't remember exactly, but I feel like it was probably just going through the related artists.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but he's great. I would really like to see him live sometime. I know that he played in Iowa last year at some point or something like that, and I was pissed I couldn't go. I can't remember what it was.
I think I remember him coming through Iowa. Well, I know he played. He joined the Hard Candy Christmas or whatever tour for a couple nights because he's married. To those who don't know, he's married to Courtney Patton, equally talented, equally awesome.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
And yeah, so they're married, and she goes on the tour with Jamie Lynn Wilson and Sonny Sweeney, and is it Brennan Lay who's the other one?
I believe it is.
Yeah, and so that's kind of that whole thing. Yeah, that's Jason Eady.
Yeah.